Dear Cancer, let's talk about something that's been resting like a stone in your heart. Have you ever felt that heartbreaking contradiction in the very place you call home? It's not a physical place, but a feeling. You walk into a familiar room, and instead of peace, you sense an invisible tension. The smiles feel forced, the conversations are shallow, and you, with your caretaker's instinct, find yourself trying to mend it all. Even as a child, you felt this duty to keep the family flame from going out, even if it meant you were slowly growing cold inside. They called you sensitive, moody, overly emotional. But let me tell you the truth, Cancer. You were never too much. You were simply the only one brave enough to feel. You took on the sorrows others denied. You held the hurts they couldn't face. That isn't a burden. That is your power. Your family may never understand the depth of your soul. When you retreat into your shell after social gatherings, it's not weakness. It's a desperate attempt to protect what little energy you have left. You're not broken, Cancer. You're just trying to hold yourself together in an environment that isn't safe. But you stayed. You stayed when they dismissed your dreams as unrealistic. You stayed when they took your devotion for granted. You even stayed when your presence became a place for them to unload their frustrations and bitterness. But let's be honest, staying has taken a toll on you. Your soul has grown weary under the weight of playing the peacekeeper. Your silence has become a survival mechanism. You laugh when you want to cry, nod when your entire being screams to object. You've lived by the script they wrote for you, while your true self quietly faded into the background. Now, here's the good news. The universe is intervening not to punish you, but to protect you. This isn't an exile, it's a rescue. What feels like loss is actually liberation. The breaking point you're approaching isn't chaos, it's realignment. You're not being pushed away because you failed. You're being pulled out because you've fulfilled your role in their story. Your presence in your family was never random. You were a divine arrangement, sent to bring warmth to cold energies, to feel what no one else dared to feel, to break old patterns by embodying something warmer, deeper, and more nurturing. But remember, you cannot heal those who refuse to look at their own wounds. They were never meant to fully understand you. You were sent not to be sheltered, but to learn how to build your own shelter. And now, it's time to leave, not with anger or shame, but with reverence. This departure is not about rejecting your family. It's about returning to the true home of your soul. They may not recognize your absence as an act of healing. They may think you've changed, and you have. You've stopped apologizing for your sensitivity. You've stopped making yourself small so they could feel big. You've stopped carrying wounds that were never yours. The universe is calling you home, not to a place, but to yourself. You might feel grief rising like the tide. Let it come. You're not mourning them. You're mourning the version of yourself that only knew how to love through self-sacrifice. That version deserves a gentle farewell, not shame. This is not abandonment. This is ascension. You don't need permission to reclaim your energy. You don't need validation to choose peace over misplaced loyalty. You don't need anyone's blessing to walk into the life your spirit craves. What lies ahead will not require you to explain your soul. It will understand you in your native tongue: emotion, intuition, care, and memory. The way forward is sacred and quiet. It won't be marked by fireworks or fanfare, but by a gentle return to equilibrium. You'll start sleeping deeper, stop over-explaining, and cry not from despair, but from relief. You are not being removed. You are being returned to your power, your clarity, your divine essence. Those who once misunderstood you, let them go. Let them remember you as a warmth they couldn't hold. Let them speak of you as a mystery. Your story isn't ending, it's unfolding into a new chapter. You're not leaving love behind. You're heading toward a love that doesn't ask you to sacrifice yourself to prove it's real. Let the tide of change carry you now. Let the universe guide you beyond the familiar, because everything you've been yearning for is waiting just past your fear. A place is being carved out for you right now, Cancer. Not with bricks and mortar, but with divine intention. You may not see it yet, and you might even doubt its existence, but it's there, glowing in the distance like a porch light in the fog, made not of physical things, but of energy, truth, and peace. It's a sanctuary where your soul will no longer have to defend itself for simply existing. But before you arrive, there is a shedding. You'll begin to feel different. Conversations you once tolerated will drain you. You'll feel an urge to be alone, not out of fear, but as a form of energy preservation. Old spaces will feel foreign. Old jokes will sting instead of amuse. And familiar voices will suddenly echo with judgment you can no longer ignore. Don't resist it. This is the universe recalibrating you. The discomfort you feel is not rejection, it's realignment. The reason you feel estranged from your own family isn't because something's wrong with you, it's because you've outgrown the vibrational frequency of that space. You're no longer content to belong somewhere that requires you to abandon yourself, and you shouldn't be. You've spent your life turning your care into bite-sized pieces they could accept, dimming your empathy so it wouldn't make them uncomfortable. You've turned your pain into silence just to keep the peace. But what if I told you you don't have to do that anymore? There are people coming into your life who will feel like quiet recognition, like home, in a language your heart forgot it knew. These are your soul mirrors, individuals who won't ask you to justify your silence or shrink your warmth. They will see your tears not as weakness, but as evidence of your strength to feel fully. This is the beginning of your sanctuary, and it starts with a decision to choose yourself. Choose stillness over noise, peace over performance, and truth even when it comes with solitude. You might still feel the pull to go back to pick up the phone and explain, to justify your absence, to reassure those who never truly saw you, but don't. This season is sacred because it's silent. Let the space speak. Let your absence be your boundary. Let your peace be your statement. Healing, Cancer, is not always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like logging off, deleting a message you'll never send, or not showing up to defend yourself in a room where your name was never spoken kindly. It's in these quiet rebellions that your soul finds its breath again. You are no longer here to carry everyone else's unprocessed wounds. You were never meant to sacrifice your sanity for the illusion of belonging. That's not loyalty, that's self-abandonment. And you, Cancer, have outgrown that disguise. Let the guilt go. Let the idea of being the good one or the fixer fall away. Let them say you've changed. Let them think you're distant. Let them misunderstand you. You are not available for roles that require your suffering anymore. Instead, be available for what nurtures you. Be open to joy that doesn't need to be earned, to intimacy that doesn't come with fear, and to connections where silence is shared, not filled with tension. That's what you're walking toward. Your sanctuary is already forming. You'll notice it in the subtle shifts, the way your breath deepens when you're alone, the calm that washes over you after letting something go, and the surge of knowing when you meet someone who doesn't question your intuition but respects it. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. You are being prepared for something you can't yet name. Yes, it hurts sometimes. Healing often feels like heartbreak at first, but don't confuse the ache of detachment with the pain of being wrong. You are not wrong for leaving. You are not wrong for needing distance. You are not wrong for choosing yourself after years of being chosen last. You were never too much, Cancer. They were simply not safe enough to receive you. Let that be what it is, not your burden to carry, but your permission to release. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to remember it. And once you do, the world will shift around you, not suddenly, not loudly, but inevitably. What is meant for you will begin to appear, not because you chased it, but because you finally made room for it. What resonates with your truth will find you quietly, in the most ordinary moments. A line in a book, a stranger's kind eyes, a path you almost didn't take. And just like that, you'll know you're not lost. You were just becoming. There will come a night, Cancer. A night when the silence is deeper than usual. The moon outside your window will shine a little differently, and the stillness will settle across the room like a divine hush. On this night, you won't be able to cry, not because you're numb, but because something inside you has shifted. You'll feel it like a cord has been cut, like a weight you've carried for lifetimes has finally been lifted. You won't be able to explain it, but you'll know you're no longer theirs. And in that moment, without ceremony or sound, it will happen. You will close your eyes, not to sleep, but to see. And in the vast dark behind your lids, a secret garden will appear. Not metaphorical, not imagined, an endless, moonlit garden, still, deep, and alive. It glows in hues of silver and indigo, with flowers you've never seen before. You are barefoot on the soft earth, dressed in garments made of light. There is no fear, no confusion, only presence. Outside the garden's gentle fence, you see them, not your family in flesh, but the echoes of every soul who ever misunderstood you. Every voice that told you to be less. Every pair of eyes that failed to see your warmth. They stand on the other side, unable to enter now. Between you and them is the garden itself, your garden, the sacred sanctuary of your soul, your truth, your holy boundary. You realize they never came in not because you didn't invite them, but because they were afraid of the quiet. You kneel down, touching the fertile soil, and from it, your new life begins to bloom. First, the vision of a home filled with laughter, plants, and gentle sunlight. Then, a tribe of souls with soft eyes, kind voices, and open arms who welcome you without question. You see conversations that don't exhaust you, mornings where you wake up excited to be alive, and nights where your tears are met with warmth, not confusion. You see you not as you were, but as you are when no one is watching. Gentle, quiet, magical, true. The vision fades slowly, but the knowing stays. You open your eyes. You are still in your room. Nothing has changed, but everything has. Because now you remember, this isn't just a season of healing. This is a return, a sacred remembering of who you were before the world told you to forget. The universe is not just removing you from what is toxic, it is placing you back into what is holy. And what is holy, Cancer, is you. But here's the thing. This vision is not a reward. It's a warning and a promise. You've seen what's possible. Now the question becomes, will you choose it? Will you have the courage to keep walking, even when no one claps for you? Will you continue to heal, even when it's quiet, thankless, and slow? Will you guard your peace, even if it means letting go of what once felt like home? Because soon, the test will come. Someone from your past will call. A moment of weakness may stir guilt in your chest. You'll hear your name spoken in judgment, and the old urge will return to explain, to be the good one again. That is the trap. Don't fall for it. You are not who you used to be. You are no longer the caretaker who bleeds. You are no longer the child who begs to be seen. You are no longer the dreamer willing to sacrifice your peace just to stay connected. This is your baptism, Cancer, not in water, but in identity. You don't need to prove your growth. You don't need to prove your heart. You only need to lead it fully, quietly, powerfully. And when doubt returns, as it will, remember that garden. Return to its edge in your mind. Feel the cool, fragrant air. See the silhouettes on the other side, and remind yourself they were never meant to come with you. They were the beginning, but you are walking toward the becoming. There will come a time sooner than you think when the memory of who you were within your family will feel distant, like a song you once loved but no longer sing, not because you've hardened, but because you've healed. And Cancer, healing doesn't make you colder, it makes you clearer. You'll begin to feel your own energy returning to you like a tide rolling back home. The fatigue that once clung to you like mist will start to lift. The confusion in your chest will soften. You'll begin to move through the world differently, not in defense, but in alignment. You'll walk into rooms and no longer scan for safety. You'll speak and not brace for misunderstanding. You'll sit with yourself and feel peace, not loneliness, because now you know who you are. Who you are is not defined by those who couldn't receive you. Your worth was never dependent on their recognition. Your warmth was never a flaw. It was a map, a sacred thread back to your original self. You are not just surviving anymore. You are remembering your design. The people who come into your life now, whether slowly or all at once, will meet you as you are, not as you had to be. You won't have to filter your feelings or over-explain your silence. These are the ones who have met themselves deeply too. Those who understand that connection isn't about performance, but presence. They will know your tears are holy. They will know your quiet is powerful. They will not flinch at your depth. This is the family you've always longed for, not bound by blood, but by resonance. The kind that shows up without being asked. The kind that listens without needing a script. The kind that loves without condition. Still, every now and then, your old life will call to you. A smell, a photo, a memory will open that familiar ache. You'll wonder if you should reach out, if maybe you misjudged, if maybe, just maybe, things have changed. In those moments, remember this. You didn't leave because you stopped loving them. You left because you finally started loving yourself. You honored them the best way you knew how. For years, you gave chances, offered truth, and made space. But their inability to rise with you was not a reflection of your failure. It was confirmation of your evolution. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your healing. Some are only meant to awaken it. Your family may never understand why you left. They may never apologize. They may never change. But you are no longer waiting for that. You've stopped needing closure from people who were never open. You've stopped writing letters to those who don't read hearts. You've stopped sacrificing where there's no bandage. Now, you live your healing in every choice, every breath, every sacred no. And in doing so, Cancer, you become what you were always meant to be, a mirror of divine warmth in a world obsessed with survival. You don't fight to be seen anymore. You see yourself, and that is enough. Let the world say what it will. Let the past echo faintly. Let the silence be sacred, because in the quiet, you'll hear it, that gentle voice within, that whisper of the universe, that knowing, this is the life I made for you. This is the love I reserved for you. This is the version of you I've been waiting for you to return to. As we wrap up, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What painful truth are you finally ready to release? Remember, Cancer, you are not leaving a family. You are walking into a divine reunion with your soul, your truth, and a love that doesn't ask you to abandon either. This is where your story begins again, softly, strongly, fully. Welcome home.